guys, welcome and good morning. It's 9:30 a.m. and today we are here again and I'm going to talk about something that I have learned very recently and it really affecting or reflecting on my life a lot. I'm talking about doom scrolling and short form content. I was not very satisfied with doom scrolling, but then I got through this whole thing that for myself, doom scrolling is short form content. You can never doom scroll long form content, and I just want to get rid of this doom scrolling thing. And so I did try to consume the media I really wanted to, and intentionally, not trying to consume short form content very much, even if it's YouTube shorts, even if it's Instagram reels or anything. I try to read a lot. I try to watch long form videos a lot. So I'm going to share whatever I have watched in July. I'm going to share the media I consume instead of doom scrolling. So let's start with the physical media, and that is not media, I think, and that it isn't media. Books. I have read 3 books in July, which is a great thing for me because मैं generally ऐसे एक month में 3 books नहीं पढ़ पाती हूँ. But this was the month where I read 3 books, and I think books choti thi. They're like the short books apart from this one. That's why the reason is, let's start with the first book I have read in this month, and the book was The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. This book has like not those things ke aap jo jante na ho. Whatever is in this book we all know, but this is something that we never put attention to that, and we never tried to have that consistency to follow those steps. So Compound Effect, I think it's a very basic book, but as we don't put enough attention to those things, that's why we found out this book very special. And this book tells you the mundane thing that we all know but we never follow. Like consistency is key. You have to be in discipline. Some exercises are in there, like tracking and making a calendar. And I have also tried tracking, and I'm currently also in the process of tracking my whole month of August. So this is the book, and I have the sticky note here. Now I am building this habit after reading a book, whatever my thoughts on the book, like in 2025 word, in a whatever the whole thing I felt after completing the book, I read it out on sticky note and I stick it here. So yeah, this is The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy, and yes, I completed this book. The second book I read after this was Too Good to Be True. After reading this book, I was in a reading slump and I was not able to read for a whole 1 week, but then I got Too Good to Be True. I cannot say that this is a great book or a bad book, but I would say this helped me in getting out of my reading slump. Now, this is Too Good to Be True by Prajakta Kohli, and when this book was released, everyone was just talking about this, everyone was just reading this. So I also did this in July, very much later, but I think it's if I talk about the book, I am not very satisfied with every point of the book, and there are some points also with them I'm a little bit satisfied, like how the girl chose her own journey, that she don't want to put her past baggage on someone else, and she tried to heal herself. That's the best part I think I loved about this book. Otherwise, I think that this book is more about a Bollywood film. The mansion, the glass house, the tulip garden, I was not very okay with that, and I am, because that was getting too much for me, having a helipad, chopper and all. That was something too much. And yeah. Third one and my favorite one was Still Like an Artist by Austin Kleon. I got this book because of the reason of creativity, that I want to work on my skills and all, I want to learn more about them, and I got Still Like an Artist by Austin Kleon, and this is a great book, I would say. I've completed this book in like 10 or 12 days, but this book helps me a lot. This Austin Kleon has written the whole masterpiece for creatives. If you are new to the creative world, or Sometime it takes a toll on you. You should definitely go there. You're gonna get some best advices. Like, I have also started making logbook. I have also started making analog and my merge file, and it's very interesting thing. um, if you have read this book, you will understand what I'm talking about, and if not, then I would really recommend you, if you are a creative, or even if you are not a creative but you are very eager or curious to just know about creativity and just wanted to add like a few point of creativity in your life, just go read this book. You're gonna get your all answers. So these are the three books I have read this month. So not this month, last month in July. And yeah, this was the physical media I consume. And now let's talk about long form media that I consume digitally. I don't think that it's all about short form content, but really short form content is something that leads you to the doom scroll, sorry. So that's why nowadays I'm really against of watching and making short form content, because short form content mujhse banta bhi nahi. I'm not that girl who will do the blah 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 reels and just shoot that quick. I have posted shorts before, but I know how much effort I've put them. So I think I don't really enjoy making them, and I also don't want to really enjoy watching them. So that's why I have started watching long form digital media. Let's start. The first video I'm going to suggest you is my favorite books of all time by Kriti Sachan. She was talking about the book she loves, like her favorite books of all time. And I know that most of the videos I'm going to suggest you will be more about books, but I think I love books, and I would really recommend you, even if you don't love books, you don't read them, I will surely recommend you, just go and check out the videos I'm going to tell you. Maybe you are not going to end up by reading any of the book they are suggesting, but you will surely start loving books and reading. So, and I would really recommend you to go and watch Kriti Sachan content. She also make videos on YouTube, and she makes good content, slow content. She will be talking about books, she will be showing you her book haul, and it's really great. I love watching her videos nowadays, and I would really recommend you to go and watch out something there. The second one, these are my favorites. Well, that's that by Finn Whittaker. Now I am not really sure I'm taking this last name pronunciation right, because it's hard for me. I don't know how to pronounce this. But if you are into traveling content, you will probably know Finn and Nolan on the Run. And even if you're not into the traveling content, but you love to watch the content that makes you think after watching that video, you will surely know them. They make good content out there on YouTube, and it's not about they're just आपको सिर्फ व्यूज दिखा रहे हैं कि ओ वी आर इन द स्विट्जरलैंड or whatever the place. They always say something in that video. They are going to say something that will leave you thinking about that again and again. The next is a weird name, but Ga by again Finn Whittaker. It is the one episode from his road trip series, and yeah, it's great. I really like their content. I would surely recommend you to watch Nolan on the Run content also. He makes very good content. You would fall in love at first glance. The next one is, I found this creator. मैंने ऐसे यहाँ पे लिख रखी सब चीज़ें. ये तो बहुत ज़्यादा important चीज़ है. I found this creator just randomly, and the video is "You Can Be Happy Every Day" by Via Lee. Now, if you have watched my last video, you would probably know that I was talking about not feeling that happiness and joy in life, and then finding that joy and happiness, the things I'm trying to do to find that again. During that time, I watched this video, "You Can Be Happy Every Day," and she makes like journal entries on YouTube, and she talks about the random things. She talks about how she feels. She talks about why it's not a big deal if you don't have friends, and she talks about you can be happy every day, you can feel joy in your life, and it's just like really good. I just love watching her videos nowadays. So I came across this video during that time, and just by this one video I fell in love with the content and I started watching her long videos mostly. Again, a book video, which is 12 books you need to read by Jack Edwards. If you know Jack Edwards, who is into reading and books, they will probably know who is Jack Edwards. We all know. And so he was recommending the 12 most books you need to read in fiction. And the video was 2022 one, and I watched that in 2025. But it's great. He will talk about the वो उस वीडियो में like he is telling you something about that book without spoiling the inner content and all the storyline, but he will tell you like bits and bobs, and he'll read his favorite quote from that book and how he feels after reading it, and why would we should read it. So best video if you're into books and reading. Then next one is again a very sweet short vlog, A Week in Southern Italy by Lou. Maybe I'm not pronouncing it right, but it's L-O-U Lou. She makes slow content. She don't talk that much. She just show the visuals and the song will be going around. And at that moment, you are not going to think about anything. If you have any stress, anything going on in your mind that is constantly bothering you, and at that time if you watch this video, you are just going to like still, and it is going to enjoy those visuals. Because I think I have read this line somewhere in an essay. They were like, we don't need content that make us aspire, we need content that make us think. So we need content that make us think more about certain things. So next one is my favorite. I took 2 weeks to complete this podcast or interview. This is interview, a channel on YouTube named Chalchitra Talks. They did an interview with Namita Dubey on how to read more. They were talking about books. They were talking about book recommendation, novellas, short essays, and everything. And it was like around 2.5 hours. I can watch it in one sitting, but I was so much busy at that time. So मुझे पूरे 2 weeks लगे to just complete that interview, but it was valuable. I got so many book recommendations and I got to know so many new things. I didn't know what is novella, and you can read magazines. Obviously, we all know what magazines in, but I have never fond of them. But that video particularly make me fond about magazines, newspaper, and I just love this video. If you are into who are trying to how to read, and they are telling the steps, the way that you can read more or you can start reading, so I would probably recommend you to go and watch that video. Now next, that is, I think this is the first video I watched and that changed my perspective on content and doom scrolling. That is How Tiny Decisions Shapes Us by Mariam Life. Firstly, I'm going to recommend you go search on YouTube Mariam Life, watch her content, and especially this one video, because in this video she's talking about the choices and what we are doing in reality with the life in today's world, where we have so much to watch, where we have immense content to watch, where we have YouTube, where we have social media. We can doom scroll, we can like sideline our whole life and our whole work, and we can just dwell into this. And where she's talking about how can we make the right choices and change our life. In this whole video I'm talking about doom scrolling because this is something I was thinking about from a long time. This is something मैं जिसको अपने आप से बाहर निकालने की कोशिश कर रही हूँ, निकल रही हूँ, बहुत अलग तरह का कंटेंट देख रही हूँ. तो आगे मोस्टली चीज़ें डूम स्क्रॉलिंग और सोशल मीडिया से रिलेटेड ही मिलने वाली हैं आपको. But I would surely recommend you to watch, because even if you are not into doom scrolling, it will somewhere change your thought process. It will somewhere change your perspective about social media and how to think that social media is a good place, but at the same time it has bad effects on us. The next video I'm going to recommend you why you should read Sylvia Plath. If you're a reader and you really want to read Sylvia Plath, you should surely watch this video. Buy Kitabi Cabins again, and She talks about Sylvia Plath, her one of the books, and how she uses that fig tree example. She talks about that and why we should read Sylvia Plath. And this video made me fall in love with Sylvia Plath books and literature, and I really wanted to get Sylvia Plath books ASAP because I really want to just sit and read Sylvia Plath, her, because I have listened so many people talking about this in their essays, in their YouTube video, her fig tree example, and I just want to read that and experience the whole book by my own. And I'm really excited to read Sylvia Plath.